The glory of day baseball from GABP as the Reds conclude their set against the Giants and they seek a split. A pleasant good afternoon. Welcome on back to Reds Baseball alongside our captain, the Hall of Famer, Barry Larkin. I'm John Sadak. And Lark, the Reds won yesterday thanks in large part to the offense of Will Benson, who has been highly productive for a while.
Will Benson is doing a much better job of really getting into position to hit. I had a chance to go down to AAA and work with Will earlier this season. And Will was just hitting. He was just working on his athletic ability. And he talked about tracking the baseball better so he could get in better position. You see it with the home run last night. You saw it with the home run the other day to right field. He is consistently getting a good position. He's got great takes. He's swinging the bat very well.
He is perhaps the best batter in the ninth position in baseball, and that's not hyperbole. The man who's the master of quality starts for the Reds. He gets the nod today. We'll go to break. When we're back, Jim Day with the quantity of quality from Andrew Abbott.
Healing begins with a doctor who hears you. Learn more at tryhealth.com/behealed. By Chevrolet, the #1 selling brand in Cincinnati. And by Skyline Chili, feeling good. It's Skyline time. Lefty Andrew Abbott about to throw the first pitch in this game, and he has been consistent right out of the gate in his MLB career. Check out our Elk and Elk storylines, and you will see minimum 8 starts, which he's made exactly 8. 6 of 8 have been quality starts, 75%. He's on the list with some big names: Logan Webb, Marcus Stroman, and the great Clayton Kershaw. He would love to make that 7 of 9. The Reds looking for a split versus the Giants as we go upstairs to the gentleman that will call today's game, John Sadak, and the Hall of Famer, Barry Larkin.
Well, thank you, Jimmy. In baseball today, there are 4 starters league-wide that enter play with sub-3 ERAs. 2 will be in this ballpark as Abbott matches up with Alex Cobb.
Well, this is a offensive stadium, but you've got 2 guys that have been really good. And for Andrew Abbott, it's a matter of getting the chases on that fastball up around the eye level. He has been really good, by the way, in starts during the daylight. 1-0 with the 1.86. So look for him to throw that invisible today and keep this Giants offense down.
Full 9 for San Francisco, brought to you by Rally House. Giants have won 8 of 10. They are tied for second in the National League West. Austin Slater, Wilmer Flores, Mike Yastrzemski. The switch hitting Patrick Bailey, Luis Matos, Jock Peterson, David Villar, Casey Schmidt, and Brett Wisely. First pitch popped up. Friedel, 1 away. The Reds defense, Benson, Friedel, and Fraley in the outfield. Friedel's had a sensational play at the wall this series. On the infield, Steer, De La Cruz, India back after a day off. No McLean today. Votto and Luke Maile has caught each of Abbott's big league starts. Flores, a hot hitter. Nice fastball strike. He's not only demolished Reds pitching on the series, Lark, he has handled all lefties well of late. He's 11 for his last 19 against lefties, a near .580 average. This series 6 for 12, 5 extra base hits, 3 of them homers. Left field, Benson. 2 down. Mike Yastrzemski. Lark, we last saw Abbott Saturday against Milwaukee. That was a quality start. 6 innings, 2 runs, 3 hits, 2 of them solo homers. And he said after the game he didn't feel like he had his best fastball.
I don't know if that's velocity or control of the fastball. You mentioned the 2 home runs he gave up. Looked pretty good to me.
Early in this game, he's commanding in that lower third rather regularly. And when he gets to 2 strikes, when he taps into that strikeout potential, it's often on the fastball up, at times out of the zone in a pronounced fashion. And as you mentioned, Danny Graves has dubbed it his invisible. He gets swing and miss on a pitch that's not near a strike. Doesn't get the chase there.
I think there's a couple of reasons for that. I think it's because it's not 98 to 100 miles an hour. So you feel like you can catch up to it, but it's got so much ride to it and finish to it that it makes it very difficult, albeit 94 miles an hour. It's difficult to catch up.
Payoff. Struck him out. The Reds, full 9 from Rally House. TJ Friedl, Spencer Steer, Jake Fraley in the cleanup spot. Jonathan India is back. Joey Votto, Christian Encarnacion Strand, Will Benson, and Luke Maile. No Matt McLain, his first day off since the 21st of June. It's been about a month. David Bell trying to spread the wealth of those off days. They face the all-star Alex Cobb.
Really good pitcher, Alex Cobb. 35-year-old veteran. In his 12th major league season, he is a right-hander with a flurry of pitches. First of all, what he does, he stands on the first base side of that rubber, steps to the third base side, creating a very difficult angle for those hitters. He likes to work down. That's a sinker right there. He uses about 40% of the time. He throws a split, and he throws it often. Curveball, slider, and an occasional four-seamer.
Yeah, the graphic we showed combined the 4-seam and 2-seam numbers, but that 4-seamer is fairly rare. One of the oddities of Cobb, he gets not just ground balls with his sinker. That's common. That's what you want. He gets a lot of strikeouts with his sinker. You don't see that as often.
No, you don't. But he's a guy, and I think the reason he gets so many strikeouts with his sinker is because he does throw that split. And that split has a tumble effect. And so you see the ball down. You're trying to figure out, is it a split? Is it a sinker?
Elly De La Cruz 0 for 4 yesterday with multiple missile outs. He is ultimately 1 for his last 24, 11 strikeouts.
Yeah, he swung the bat very well yesterday. I thought it was a good, he had some really good at-bats and a good take right there for ball 4. I like the move of putting him up hitting first. And although we talk about, different mindset, don't want him to change, but it is a different mindset. When you hit in the middle of the lineup, you're thinking you got to hit a little more for power. Hitting at the number 1, you want to get on base. Still going to hit for power.
He is the Reds' leading base stealer. TJ Friedl, an excellent bunter. Pickoff throw. Close play.
One thing about Alex Cobb is he's not a fast starter. Are they going to challenge that? No,
they will not.
The opposition's hitting 370. against him in the first inning.
Taylor Cruz goes, pitch up and away, throw down right there. He's out. Patrick Bailey is excellent behind the plate. Raised hand from David Bell. He will not challenge.
Well, this is a great pitch to throw on. It's a heater, kind of a modified pitch out. And look at the positioning of this throw. Catchers, if you're out there, throw that ball on the first base side of second base right into that runner. It makes that tag so much quicker. Excellent throw.
Backhanded by Flores. Foot race. Friedel's out.
Wilmer Flores extension, and Alex Cobb can't be a spectator. Got a job to do. Just beats TJ Friedl to the bag.
Cobb gets a lot of ground balls, 58% ground ball rate. That's third highest in baseball. Logan Webb, who the Reds saw this series, is number 1. The Cubs' Marcus Stroman, number 2. Strike one on Spencer Steer, who gets elevated to the 3rd position today. Now, Steer had a run batting 3rd. In fact, this game marks the 24th on the season he's hit 3rd. He's now hit 3rd more than anywhere else. A lot of that came late April into early mid-May.
And John, I said something wrong. I said that in the first inning, hitters were hitting 370 off Alex Cobb. That's on the first pitch of the at-bat. So guys are ambushing that first pitch and having success. See the movement on that two-seamer.
Off speed in the dirt. Full count. Now he does have pretty wide home road splits. At home, he's 4-1, ERA of just under 1.25. On the road, he's 2-1, an ERA over 4. And this is a very hitter-friendly ballpark. I feel like the Reds could get to him a bit. There's a second walk in the opening inning. Jake Fraley. Team leader in ribbies since the break. He's 3 for 19. 2 of those hits are homers. A chatter between Bailey and Cobb. Reds offense endured a dormant stretch that hadn't been seen in several years. They seem to have broken out of it. They hung 10 on the board a couple of nights ago and had a very explosive inning. 3 runs on a Benson bomb, but many other well-struck balls, and then silenced some thereafter by a talented Giants bullpen. That's the splitter. The 1-2 for Cobb is the sinker and the splitter, and they both get swing and miss. They both get strikeouts. it to right center. Yastrzemski over, and he has it. And Marlins co-lead baseball with their 21 one-run wins. Reds added another thanks in part to Will Benson yesterday. A 3-2 win, a 3-run homer by Benson. Switch hitting Patrick Bailey. Just low on a breaking ball. There seems to be a concentrated effort by Abbott to work the lower third of the zone. Up and away. Attacks with a strike. Rookie to rookie. Strike two. This is likely the reprisal of a familiar series of battles. Shared time in the ACC. Abbott at Virginia. Bailey at North Carolina State. Oddly enough, the primary color now inverted. Abbott in red. Orange, the major accent in the traveling uni for Bailey. Right at India. Takes a bit of a funky hop. One away. Abbott in the driver's seat, presented by Hyundai, against the bottom tier of opposing orders. Hitters 5 through 9 are hitting a slight 120 this year. 27 Ks against 8 walks. Luis Matos. Just 21 years old, a top 3 prospect for the Giants. He has 3 hits, a double on the series. He's hit .325 on the month of July. Two and two. So far, Abbott has not shown the changeup that much. He's leaned on the fastball. It's been about even between his 2 breaking balls. Payoff. Center field. 2 down. Jock Peterson. Just 2 hits on the series, 1 a biggie. Drove in a run in the 10th inning in the opener. Left field, Benson started back, angles in. 1-2-3. Reds homer hits the Toyota hit and win sign today. Charles Howard from Montgomery, Ohio wins the brand new built in the USA 2023 Tundra. Register for your chance at your Cincinnati, Northern Kentucky Toyota dealers. Jonathan India skips one off the mound, handled by Wisely. 1 down. Joey Votto. 2 for 18 on the homestand. That includes a 2-run homer off Jacob Junis this series. Generous tall strike. Crew chief Dan Iasonia on the balls and strikes. Rolled to second. Votto seemed to look back there out of the box. Oh, and he's going right at Iasonia. Votto knows the zone incredibly well, and he is irate at that strike too. And it was a bad call. He's right.
Ball certainly looked up.
Look at him peek back. Any one pitch is the pitch, right? And that's going to happen. But it's the domino that occurs, and it's happened a lot recently to multiple Reds hitters. And perhaps things snowball when the offense as a whole isn't going well. There are fair points there. There have been some bad calls, and it affects the entirety of the at-bat, right?
Absolutely, it does. Listen, it's frustrating, and it happens all the time.
Christian Encarnacion Strand.
But when you're a veteran hitter, the thought is, okay, I'm not swinging at that. Obviously, it's a ball. You know, that's a courtesy that many veteran hitters are given.
Bounce to short. Schmidt. Spin and throw. Reds in order. In their weekend set against the Diamondbacks. And stick around after the game. Another spectacular fireworks show presented by To Be Me. Good sized crowd here on this weekday day game. David Villar. First pitch strike. Oh, 2. Villar got the call back up from AAA when Brandon Crawford went on the IL. Got hit by a pitch, was 0 for 3, struck out 3 times. There's a rare changeup. Almost feels like he might be using that in the back pocket for second time through. Early turn. Loud foul. VR has been strikeout prone. Line to India on a skip. Gathers, stays with it.
Ball jumps up on the Jonathan India. Looked like it had a little knuckleball, and I'm not sure if that ball hit him in his throwing hand.
He visibly winced, and De La Cruz seemed to check on him. Abbott the same. And Lark, that's already the second ball that's taken an odd bounce to him at second base. Yeah, that happened on the Bailey ball too.
That ball right there was blistered. It looked like it was kind of a knuckleball coming off the back of the VR, and kind of an in-between hop. India does a nice job of keeping that ball in front of him.
Top tier of the zone, change-up strike. And he did seem to shake that hand and seemed to be looking at that thumb on his throwing hand. Two-one to Casey Schmidt. Big swing. After he had hit the changeup early, he's gone to it quite a bit these last couple of batters. Upstairs, swing and miss, and a spike of the bat by Schmidt.
It was the high fastball right here. Well located, up and away.
The one-hand smash by Schmidt. Brett Wisely tried to check, could not hold back, and it's in the zone, strike one. Lark, that first pitch check swing by Wisely kind of encapsulates the deception of Abbott.
Yes, I would agree with that. That was a high fastball also. It's one of those, can I get there? I think I can, but can't quite catch up. Maybe I shouldn't swing at it too late. Listen, there's no surprises out there. Everyone in the league now knows what Andrew Abbott is doing out there, and he's just executing his pitches.
In some ways, I feel like there is still that next level plus potential, similar to Elly De La Cruz. We have seen both Abbott and De La Cruz enjoy some seemingly dominant runs. I don't think either has scratched the surface of what their top end potential is. I don't think we've seen Elly De La Cruz truly hot yet. I don't know that we've seen the best version of Abbott yet, and they've both had outstanding rookie years. It's something that Luke Maile spoke about when Abbott had that near 18-inning scoreless stretch to begin his big league career. Great looking pitch, called ball 4. Abbott trying to hang with it.
Yeah. Looks like a great pitch. Yeah. What are you going to do? Just keep grinding at it.
Top of the order, Austin Slater. Well, Abbott has been exceptional when men get on base, something that he's given credit to his long days of relieving, the bulk of his college career, save for his senior season at Virginia. At Great American Ballpark, he's only allowed 2 hits with a man on base so far. Both times they were singles. Juan Soto, and that was with Fernando Tatis Jr. at first base. And both by Soto in that same sequence. Gets that call to strike. That feels like a makeup. Okay. Changeup dives low. Routine right. Fraley. That's got carry. Fraley at the wall, off balance, makes the catch.
Got this today. This is Luke Weaver, a few days removed from taking a hot shot back off of his glove arm. It was a really scary scene. David Bell said yesterday if he had to field his position yesterday, which he obviously didn't, he's a starter, that he couldn't have played. So that's really the concern. Pitching arm okay, everything else okay. It's whether or not he can field his position. They believe he can make his next start.
That's what it looked like. That's moments after the ricochet off his arm. Look at that swelling. Will Benson just outside of the top 10 in the National League at OPS. That's among men with 150 plate appearances, and Benson unhappy with that call. It's inside. And I get a sense there's been a building frustration for these Reds hitters because there have been several days of inconsistent calls. Benson knows the zone incredibly well. It's a huge reason why that OPS number is so great. David Bell trying to shield his player. And by the way, I mentioned his standing with that in comparison to the league. That's over all of his at-bats. We're not cherry picking when he got hot in late May. That includes the really rough start. Full count. He works a walk. Benson is on for Luke Maile. Strike one. Check out the rear foot of Cobb as he sets on the mound. Got a text from our friend the Cowboy, Jeff Brantley. Hi, Cowboy. It's only the tip of the toe that's edging the rubber there. Well hit to left center. Long fly toward the bullpen. Gone! Two-run job by Maile, his 4th of the year. 2-0 Reds.
John, has this guy not been amazing with the lack of playing time that he receives? The impact that he makes from a defensive perspective and swinging the bat. It's been amazing, his contributions this year.
Strike one. De La Cruz stepped out.
It is not easy to get inconsistent at bats and be as locked in as Luke Maile has been. And once again, we saw it in yesterday's ball game. The bottom third of the lineup making contributions. 3 runs yesterday. 3 guys at the bottom of the lineup. 2 runs today.
De La Cruz lines it to center. That's down, base hit.
I've just been so impressed with Luke Maile and the position that he consistently gets in. It's like he's playing just about every single day. Every chance he gets a chance to get out there and be part of it. He's cashing in. Nice job.
Away to Friedel, who is grounded out. Well, to your point, going back to the 24th of June during the series against the Braves. That's when Maile went from getting a pretty good amount of playing time. There's a more regular rotation at that point, to the team more consistently riding with Stevenson, and Maile's limited chances basically coming when Abbott starts or there's some kind of a matchup pinch hit switch and he catches late stage. De La Cruz goes, pitch grounded to second. Only play is at first. Entering this game, Luke Maile had 17 at bats since June 23rd, basically a month. Spencer Steer worked to walk. Breaking ball strike. The point, though, that Cowboy was making about the toe of Cobb just grazing the rubber, the difficulty of the angle arm side for both the two-seamer and the split, because of how, I mean, that's the edge of his toe. How does that affect you, the hitter, seeing that angle?
Creates a different, it's not just where he's standing, it's the fact that he steps across and throws across his body. I would love a right-handed pitcher to stand on that side of the rubber and not throw across his body. I can see everything. It'd be almost like a left-handed pitcher throwing to me as a right-handed hitter. But it's not where he starts. It's the fact that he steps across his body to create kind of a crossfire effect that I believe makes it difficult for right-handed hitters.
Jake Fraley lined to right his first time. Skips this to Flores.
So impressed with Luke Maile and his ability to make impacts when he gets a chance to get in the lineup. 2-run big time bomb.
All games call for shorter beers. Stream your favorite team live on Bally Sports and long live #ShortBoySummer. It's a brilliant breaking ball from Abbott. Sneak strike one on Flores. Missed on that backdoor try. Two and one. Too tall, no chase. Here's a leadoff walk. Music ready. Brief word from Miami Valley Gaming.
Shimmy on down and get ready to get lucky at Miami Valley Gaming.
Awesome.
Mike Yastrzemski struck out his first time. Strike one. Now Flores walked on a payoff. Yastrzemski struck out on a payoff. It's one time through plus 3 batters for Abbott. He's already had 6 full counts. Skied to left. Patrick Bailey rematches with Abbott. Beyond their time competing as collegians in the ACC, they also shared time on a roster. Bailey was a catcher, Abbott a pitcher on the Collegiate Team USA in 2019. Bailey grounded out the first time. Abbott told me the other day he's a huge Lord of the Rings fan. Speaks about the films and the books on the Jim Day podcast. He said he watched all 3 movies back to back to back on the flight that took nearly 12 hours from the U.S. to Japan. That is a level of true dedication to that trilogy. They are long, epic films, and he says, and I believe him, he says he's a smart guy. He can pretty much verbatim go word for word and say the entire movie's dialogue before the characters do.
Is that right?
Yeah. Out in front of that breaking ball. Fouled back. At the knees, great looking pitch. Ball 3. That's happened to Abbott twice. It happened on the payoff to Wisely. Flores had hopped a slightly larger lead. To right. Caught by Fraley. 2 down. Nice play.
Really nice play by Jake Fraley, just very aggressive. As soon as this ball was hit, I was thinking base hit. Fraley said, not here. Great play.
He had visions of doubling off Flores, who broke. He thought base hit too. That ball popped free on the transfer after the out secure. Matos. Ball one. It's been an odd read. We spoke some off air on some of these fly balls, Lark. What have you seen?
Yeah, I feel like the ball is really traveling. Like that ball stayed up. I thought it was going to be a base hit to drop in front of. And Jake Fraley made up the distance. Early in the game, I thought a couple balls that I thought were just routine pop-ups. The first one to TJ Frito in center field, he catches it on the track. And then Will Benson on the second pop-up of the game, he catches it against the left field wall. So the flags aren't blowing, but the ball is traveling.
To left center. And Benson started more shallow. On extension, he can't get to it. Windmill is on. Benson throw to De La Cruz. He's got a cannon. It's fired to the plate. The ball is there. The tag. He is out. Benson, De La Cruz, Maley. Flores sliced down at home plate.
Correctly in order to nail Flores at the dish right here. Will Benson does a nice job of tracking that ball, playing the carom, making a nice throw to Elly De La Cruz. And then Elly pulls out the cannon. Throws a dime to the dish.
So Elly De La Cruz wears baseball pants just like everyone else and puts them on one leg at a time. But when he takes the field, he breaks StatCast records. He just broke his own record. That was a 99.8 mile per hour throw, and Flores was not close. The ball was waiting for him at the plate. He only broke the record in the last week, right? That was this homestand.
Yeah.
So in one homestand, he has broken a record twice, and he's played less than 40 games in the big leagues.
When he threw that ball from third base, I did tell you he had more in the tank. There you see it.
India lines one over third, base hit. Slater jogs after it. India shoots to second. He whistles a double.
Here's the splitter. India does a nice job of staying right there. When you pull the ball down the right field line and you just allow the bat head to release, that's a great sign. It's good hitting, Jonathan India.
Joey Votto is grounded out to second. India hops a larger lead. Down and into Votto. Chopped right side. India claims third. Votto grounds out, one away. Christian Encarnacion Strand is grounded to short. By the way, this also means that the hardest thrown ball of the game, including both pitchers, has been offered by Elly De La Cruz. Alex Cobb is topped out at 95.2. Elly hit 99.8. Encarnacion Strand to left center. That's down, base hit. India scores. 3-0 Reds. Encarnacion Strand went hitless in his big league debut. He is 4 for 8 since.
Good job of hitting right there. You can see the approach is to keep the ball off the ground. He beats Alex Cobb to the spot. Serves it in left center field. Good hitting. I told you, this kid, he has profound power, but he is a really good hitter.
Benson opposite way. That's got eyes. Encarnacion Strand streaking for third. Slater from left concedes. Encarnacion Strand to the plate. He scores. RBI double. Will Benson. 4-0.
I don't know if Will Benson thought this ball was going to go foul or if he just didn't know where it was. You see right there, he's looking, he can't find it. He can't find it. Oh, that's a double down the left field line. Yep, definitely a fair ball.
And Encarnacion Strand from first base. He's not a blazer, but he's faster than you think, and he shows it there.
Yep.
Upstairs strike. Maile got the scoring started. Drilled a 2-run homer to left center. Runner off, and that's fouled back. Benson had already plunged into third as the ball hit the netting.
This was a home run earlier in the game, hanging breaking ball. And Luke Maile, who is a big man, unloads on it.
Center field. Matos a later break. Head first plunge. It's only trapped, not caught. Benson over to third, and that falls in for Maile. That's 4 hits this inning by the Reds offense.
It's a tough read for Will Benson at second base. You got to see that ball down on the field, and nice attempt by Matos. Will Benson with the late break. You want to try to score for the hitter behind you, but that was just a tough one. And then once again, John, contributions, we saw it yesterday. The 3 runs came from the bottom third of the lineup, and today Luke Maile with the bomb, Encarnacion Strand with the ribby, Will Benson with the double and the ribby. When the bottom third of your lineup is productive, it makes things much better for your club offensively.
This already ties as the second most runs allowed in a game by Cobb all year. De La Cruz swing and a miss. They tried to backdoor against Benson. VR swept in at third base and shaped up to receive a throw. But the pitch came home and there was no window for Maile. Infield partially shallow. 1-1. By the way, the Reds have the Diamondbacks in town coming up. It's been a slugfest between Arizona and Atlanta. Not today. Perfect game in progress for Zach Gallen through 5. Spencer Strider has struck out 13 for Atlanta. They are scoreless. With Cobb on the ropes, Jacob Junis loosens in the Giants bullpen. Can De La Cruz deliver a knockout punch? Just about the entire Reds bullpen is standing and watching up against the fence in left center. Top to first. Fire home. Tag late. Out the call. Benson says check it. I thought he was on the dish. The call out and a fielder's choice 3-2.
The question is, Bailey, does he block that way? He obviously blocks that plate. And I believe when the play is on the infield, you can legally be in front of that plate because of the bang bang nature of the play. We'll see another swim move. And he's out.
Well, 2 down. Maile up to second. Friedl. Strike 1. Yeah, when the infield is drawn in there and you have a play on the infield, a ground ball to an infielder, the rule allows the catcher to do that because in theory it's really hard to have enough time to process and set up. There's such a truncated amount of space and time. Friedl is bounced to first, bounced to second. They squeeze that right side hole. Wisely has to go to his right. Backhand off balance. Save, but De La Cruz went through the bag. Now a rundown. Backside Friedl up to second. Maile breaks. He gets charged at. Flick to the plate. Bailey applies the tag. Another thing you've probably not seen before.
Yeah, we talked about the speed of Elly De La Cruz. This ball hit to Wisely at second base, and Elly De La Cruz just continues to run through the bag. I don't know that this is taught. I have never heard this being taught. And Schmidt does a nice job of just following the runners. 2 guys occupying third base, completing the rundown.
He decides to go with the catcher instead of the fastest man in baseball. Bunt try foul from Jock Peterson.
I can understand that decision.
So the one thing I don't know, I've never seen that happen before. To our knowledge, that's been scored a base hit. My instinct would be fielder's choice. Now, I don't know. Wisely was edging to his left with the left-handed Friedl. He had to go far to his right to make the backhand play. Momentum carrying him toward left. I don't know if it's automatic that he could throw to first with the speed of Friedl and get him. Similarly for De La Cruz, I don't know if he could have slid and still beaten the force play. Just foul. The spin and fall of that ball had a golf-like feel. Fix your divots, please, gentlemen. And Peterson is flied to left. Bunt with 2 strikes. Foul. He's out. Strikeout.
We've seen TJ Friedl do it a few times. Jock Peterson decides with that third baseman playing him basically a shortstop, if he can just drop that ball in fair territory, it's a base hit.
And that's also telling of the respect level they have as a unit for Andrew Abbott.
That it does.
BR to left. Benson. Casey Schmidt struck out his first time. Strike one. De La Cruz. Same game parlay they talked about on Reds Live. Andrew Abbott, 3 strikeouts. De La Cruz, no bomb just yet. Spencer Steer, no bases just yet. That could change right here and now. Steer leads it off. He has walked, grounded out. 4-0 Reds. Now, Jacob Junis had been warming last inning, but Cobb held the Reds to the 2 runs. Quelled a threat thanks in part to his defense. You don't see Steer swing at sliders off the plate like that very often. One and two. Right field, Yastrzemski. Foul side. Jake Fraley is lined to right. He is bounced to first. Lined over first, base hit. Yastrzemski gathers on the ricochet. Fraley slows at second, a standing double.
Look at the tumble on that ball right there. Jake Fraley unfazed by the off speed. Like there's some shrapnel or something that happened after he made contact with that ball. Something that popped off his glove, his batting glove or something.
I see the splinter tumble down.
Thought he squared that bat up. Or squared the ball up. Many times though, John, you get a bat that might start to flake or might have a little crack in it. If you're having success with it and it really doesn't compromise the bat too terribly much, you continue to go up there with it because that bat has a lot of hits in it.
There were several Reds, and probably most often and most significantly, I remember Castellanos when the cup at the end of the bat had broken. But he was swinging well, and he kept wanting to use that bat. And you know what? This has happened a few times now, last couple of innings. the steer pitch this inning, that one to India that I think had been called strikes are now not. So maybe the gripes from Votto and Benson have worked. Lined over short, base hit. Windmill is on. Slater from medium left concedes. He lobs to second. Fraley scores. 2 hits for India. It's 5-0 Reds.
Well, string the hits together. This is the two-seamer. You can see in on the hands of India, but he does not vacate a swing. He stays through the baseball. Great hitting. And the speed of Jake Fraley, no play at the plate.
Now Votto. Strike 1. He has grounded out to second base a couple of times. India has been enduring the worst month of his pro baseball life, something he's readily and kindly talked about. He has said bluntly, I've never been through this. I don't know how to handle it or what to do. Trying to stick to my process. Hopefully the results will come. Well, he now has a 4-game hit streak. Very small sample. I get it. But he's 7 for his last 16. Couple of doubles, a home run. And he's had some well hit outs in that time too.
Every single player goes through it. It's going to happen, but you have to go through it. You know, you have to fail in this game. You have to fail in order to know how to be successful. You have to make those mistakes. It has to happen. This game is too hard. Players are too good. So you go through your failures. You consistently make adjustments, mental and physical. You take the hits when they come.
Safe slide back by India. Votto 2 for his last 23. Both hits extra base hits and 5 walks in that time. Another pick. Do you send India?
No.
He goes. Ball 4. That's 4 walks for Cobb. With men in scoring position today, it's been a turnaround. The Reds are 4 for 8. They had been 3 for 36 over the prior 7 games. That includes a hit from Christian Encarnacion Strand. That was first pitch his last time up. And we have a pitching change. Jacob Junis is hot again. Skyline Chili called to the bullpen. Sports Ohio is brought to you by your local Toyota dealer. Visit buyatoyota.com. Toyota, let's go places. And by DHL Supply Chain. Now hiring a wide range of salaried, managerial, and operational roles. Apply today. Join DHL.com. Luke Mailey's bomb, part of the explosion for the Reds offense. They have hung 5 on the board, second highest total allowed by starter Alex Cobb. First out of the bullpen is Jacob Junis.
Saw him in Tuesday's ball game. It did not go well for Jacob Junis. Had 4 hits in the inning that he pitched. Gave up a couple runs. He's a 4-pitch pitcher. He's got that 4-seam fastball, a lot of sliders, sinker, and a changeup.
He surrendered the 350th career homer of Joey Votto. 0-2 on Strand. RBI single his last time. That scored India. He's also bounced to short. Jonas's signature pitch, his slider, it's not as effective this year as it was last when Kirk Casale was the Giants catcher and Cole Jonas at the time a godsend to the San Francisco club. A pitch he rediscovered with the aid of longtime pitching coach, former big leaguer Steve Luber. That bounces away. Both runners move up. Throw down. Votto on a slide. He's out. India to third, but 2 down.
Really tough read for the trail runner right here. You got to make sure that the lead guy goes.
Check swing, appeal, no. Held off on that slider away. Sharply grounded to short. On time throw. Reds had a run. 5-zip.
He visited Camp Joy on Monday. Now, Camp Joy is a year-round camp, but periodically they pair up with Cincinnati Children's Hospital and create a week-long camp, and Enjoy It All camp, where patients with cancer, blood diseases, and immune disorders gather together. And it gives an opportunity for children to connect with others that are facing similar challenges. And they help develop new skills, form lasting friendships, and build self-esteem. Now, that is great amongst itself, but then how about big leaguers showing up to fish with them? Graham Ashcraft said fish weren't biting much, caught a couple little ones, but the experience was top shelf.
And kudos to those men for spending that time and making some incredible memories. Andrew Abbott twirling a one-hitter. He has struck out 3. He has walked 2. Make that 4 strikeouts.
A lot of swings and misses, and Andrew Abbott just continues to befuddle these hitters.
I think that's a great word choice. The stuff is very good, but there's such deception. He pitches to all 4 quadrants of the zone. You always say there's value in being unpredictable.
Yes.
I feel like that's part of the deep attack that Abbott possesses. Fraley had to weave a bit. 2 down.
I remember I would talk to guys about facing some of our lefties, notably Tom Browning, God rest his soul, right? And they would tell me that it was probably the most comfortable 0 for 4 that they've ever had in their life. Like, really? Like, yeah, everything is right there. There's like, you're not concerned with the velocity. You're not concerned with him throwing in. You're not really concerned with anything. At the end of the day, you're 0 for 4. It's a very comfortable 0 for 4. And I'm assuming that's kind of the same case facing Andrew Abbott, because there is no really, there isn't that velocity or the, fact that he throws inside and really establishes the inside part of the plate against him. You're taking swings at it, and it's just, you're missing.
And does that independently have its own positive pitching effect, that there's this false sense of security for the hitter, and the next thing you know, you're 0 for 4.
You're 0 for 4. Comfortably 0 for 4. Not happily, comfortably.
Strike 2. Flores has walked. He's been sliced down to the plate. He is flying to left. The assist, by the way, for Will Benson, the 15th outfield assist for the Reds this year. He is now the team's co-leader. He is Matt Stewart Fairchild with 3 dimes on the season. TJ Friedl also with 3. Popped up. Votto in foul ground. 1, 2, 3. The D-backs, fans in attendance, receive a Reds Hawaiian shirt thanks to Budweiser while supplies last. Oh, an icy cup. It's a sticky, warm day. Ball 1 to Will Benson. Aboard twice. He has walked, knocked in a run with a double. He has scored once. He's also been cut down at home plate. Drills that ball. Cavernous gap in right center. Skips to the wall. Benson streaking up to second. Double.
Swinging the bat so well. Look, that was a 2-seamer, looked like running up and away. And Will hammers this ball in the right center. Man, he is swinging the bat so well.
Luke Maile, a couple of hits, 2-run homer, and a single to center. Strike 1, front door breaking ball. The left-handed Manaea is loosening in the Giants' pen. De La Cruz on deck. Maile's home run, our StatCast 3D, powered by Google Cloud.
Breaking ball, and Luke Maile, as I said, at 423, it seems like he gets a chance to play every day, but he doesn't. But when he gets in there, he is so locked in. He does such a nice job behind the dish, but constantly making contributions with that bat in his hand.
So third, caught on the fly, flicked to second late. Benson able to dive back in, 1 away. De La Cruz has walked, singled, reached on fielder's choice. He has been caught stealing. Curious here. The left-handed Friedl on deck. Manaea's ready. Kapler deciding not to turn De La Cruz around. He would rather that he bats left-handed. I would assume if Manaea's up and he was getting hot, wasn't used yesterday, that he's probably coming in for Friedl. Benson's off. Pitch up and away. Late throw down. Drop. Benson already had the bag. He steals third.
You can see Bailey with a little bit of transfer issues. You see everything with the left-handed hitter. This third base is wide open. And I think Bailey just got ahead of himself. You can see right there where he had the trouble on the transition, rush the throw. Pressure makes you do things. Pressure makes the defense make mistakes. And with all this team speed, the way that this team runs the bases, we've seen some plays not made by these major league players.
And that draws the infield in. That's 9 steals and 10 tries for Benson. Reds have 4 men with double-digit steals, led by De La Cruz. They now have 3 with 9 apiece. Steer, Fairchild, and now Benson. Swing and a miss. Slider with bite.
A downward movement. You look at the slider. East and west is good, but north and south, a swing and miss.
First strikeout for Junis. Friedel will face him. He has a base hit. He's 1 for 3. VR shallow at third. So here's where you're caught in between, right? The infield is overwhelmingly playing Friedel to pull, but VR has to keep Benson honest and deny the bunt.
Well, with two outs, there's no keeping the runner honest. The runner can go as far down as he wants to, as long as he doesn't steal home.
We have seen a guy steal,
and we have, and we have. It's more so that TJ Friedel can lay that ball down and is willing to lay that ball down the third base line for a bunt.
Backdoor strike. We have seen, though, when teams do the extreme tilt and the third baseman plays short, that runner at third sometimes goes halfway, if for nothing else than to distract the pitcher. Phillies tried that several times against the Reds. And Friedel strikes out.
Backs tomorrow night. Reds Eye, the pregame edition, 6:30, brought to you by Ray St. Clair Roofing. And checking out our Liberty Mutual Insurance field coverage, Diamondbacks, one of the surprise teams in Major League Baseball this season, 54-42 record, tied for second in the NL West. 5 runs per game, that's third best in the National League. And like the Reds, they will steal a lot of bases, second in the National League. And they've also got their own star rookie, Corbin Carroll, first rookie all-star starter since 2017. He's having a whale of a season. In fact, he's probably your leader for rookie of the year contention. So the D-backs coming to town.
Yeah, Jim, I think Carroll's got a real shot at MVP. There's a lot of baseball to go, but I think his year, and consider what Arizona has done in a very deep National League West, I think he deserves to be in that conversation. Patrick Bailey has bounced to second. He is lined to right. Mighty swing at a changeup. Just away. Two. Struck him out.
Really good movement and finish. Giants hitters just can't seem to square him up at all.
Right back to Abbott. Glum. 1, 2, 3. Andrew Abbott has gone 7 for the second time in the big leagues. He's tossing a one-hitter at the stretch. Against the Diamondbacks, another family Sunday, meaning fans in attendance get a Reds baseball card set courtesy of Topps while supplies last. 513-381-REDS for tickets. Steer first pitch to right center. One down. Brief word now from UDF.
What is it that makes UDF Peach so popular? Juicy, ripe peaches. Stop by UDF while Peach is back for a limited time.
Derek Law just begins to throw in the Reds' pen. Jake Fraley has doubled, scored. He's 1 for 3. We believe Abbott is around 95 pitches through 7 scoreless. He was very pitch efficient that last inning. Got the 1 pitch out from Yastrzemski, a fairly rapid K of Bailey, and the quick contact from Matos. That was a nice ovation for Abbott as he descended the dugout steps. One of the many things I love about doing games here, there's an awareness and appreciation for moments and efforts like Abbott's today.
I agree with that. You know, I think the fans here are great. They understand the game of baseball, but don't be fooled. It's different here this year. The electricity is here, and all these young players that have come have really brought the energy from the fan base. It's something to have 20,000 fans in the stadium, but it's something different to have 20,000 enthusiastic fans that are looking and waiting for something that they have yet to see or haven't seen for a while on the field. And I feel that's where we are here in Cincinnati. We talked about earlier this year or even last year about fans and a fan base that comes to the stadium with the expectation to win. I think that's what you're seeing right now. I tell the players all the time, I just hope you get an opportunity to play meaningful baseball late in the season.
Falling fast and right, second hit for Fraley.
And it's happened here a few times. But baseball and fall baseball, when there's all kind of stuff on the line, is some kind of fun for the fans and a tremendous experience for these players. I just hope that Joey Votto gets an opportunity to stand on that field during a World Series before he takes off that uniform.
Generous strike 1 on India, who has doubled, singled, and scored. He has knocked 1 in. The Reds last won back-to-back games a couple of weeks ago. They had a 5-game win streak July 2nd through the 6th. They bid for that today. Full count. to the seats. Levi Stout is now throwing in the Reds bullpen. Abbott at 96 pitches. It's a 5-run edge as it stands. What do you think?
Yeah, you know, I think obviously you ride that horse as long as you can, but you got to think about the fact that he's a young pitcher. I don't know what the medical situation is. Pitch count, valuable piece for the present and the future. Take all that into consideration.
They have left, right due up. Swing and miss. India strikes out. Our FanDuel Live total runs update. Over under discussed on pregame at 9. Right now it's 6.5. Joey Votto due up. Bailey out for a chat. There is seemingly no activity in the Giants pen. Minaya did warm over the span of seemingly more than 1 inning earlier.
With Andrew Abbott, guys, it's going to be a delicate situation because the fact that he does go deeper into games, and he's a rookie. Many times they've had innings limits on guys later in the season. But if you're in contention, that's a double-edged sword. What do you do? It will be something that we will have to monitor very closely as the season goes on.
And we had a chance to ask Nick Kroll about that when he stepped in for David Bell on the media availability. And he said at the time it looked like he should be all right to be able to get through the year without any innings issues. But there was similar math last year for the trio of Green, Lodolo, and Ashcraft, and all of them had some form of injury issue that basically solved the issue. They missed time with their respective issues, and they were able to finish the season. Strike 3. Day, our Kia player profile.
He's been really good, John, throwing all of his pitches, throwing to all the quadrants. And the word we use now is befuddle. He has befuddled the hitters. He's pitched incredibly well. He's got great mound presence, and he is still out there in the top of this 8th inning.
Jock Peterson tried to bunt his way on with 2 strikes and struck out the last time he saw him. Joey Votto made the final out last inning. He's out of the game. Nick Senzel takes his spot in the order. He now plays 3rd. Spencer Steer from 3rd to 1st. So Abbott just south of 100 pitches. He only needed 7 to get the heart of the order in the 7th. A couple of 1-pitch outs that bookended a Bailey strikeout. One-two. Struck him out. 10 in a row retired.
Just such a nice job of mixing up his pitches and just execution. Look at this ball. Ball's on the outer half of the plate, outer third of the plate, outer corner of the plate, bottom third, bottom of the zone. His precision has been fantastic.
Look at how much more efficient he's been later in the game. Shows me the rhythm he gets into, and I have to think part of it is he reads hitters, and the more he sees the hitters, often the better he gets. To India, outfield grass. 2 down. So he has matched his longest outing in the big leagues. He has not yet gone 8. Casey Schmidt has struck out. He has bounced to short. Mauricio Llovera loosens for the Giants. We saw Stout getting ready for the Reds. Chopper, De La Cruz darts in. Andrew Abbott with 8 scoreless innings of one-hit ball. The first Red to go 8 all season. The Ohio Department of Public Safety slow-mo replay, finish with a flurry. Andrew Abbott.
Look at the numbers, John, and you know it's amazing how consistent he's been. He throws strikes. He is not afraid to pitch the contact. Throws all of his pitches at any particular time. Just so much poise for such a young pitcher. Certainly impressive.
Retired the last 12 in a row that he faced. Highest amount of innings by any Reds pitcher in a single outing this year. So here's a rematch. Christian Encarnacion Strand saw Llovera just a couple of games ago. He entered as a pinch hitter. Llovera had just entered the game as a reliever. And CES got his first big league hit with an upper deck homer at Llovera's expense.
Yes, it was. It was a slider that he hit. He's got a 2-seam fastball. He throws a cutter, slider, and a changeup.
If Encarnacion Strand were to go deep, he would be just the 3rd Red since 1900 to homer twice in his first 4 games. Joining Joey Votto and Nick Senzel.
That was that slider I was talking about that he hit for that upward tank job. Saw something in the ball game today from Encarnacion Strand. With the runner on third base, he really choked down on his bat and just served the ball out to the outfield to get the run in from third, and that's just good hitting. Really good idea of what he wants to do, understanding he needs to change at times. Sometimes you're a slugger, sometimes you're a hitter. You saw the ability to slug. We also see the ability to hit.
Llovera gets the better of him in the rematch. Will Benson has been aboard 3 times today. A walk, 2 doubles, an RBI, a steal, a run scored. Appeal, no go. During the first 5 losses in their 6-game slide, the Reds scored 5 runs in those 5 games. They have scored 18 runs in their last 3. Trying to add to it in this 3rd of those affairs. Clips for a strike, full count. Looked low, called strike 3. Benson has reasonable ground.
Will Benson gets in good hitting position, and I think he just sees this ball down. Can't argue balls and strikes. It is frustrating. You know it's not a strike. It gets called. So frustrating.
Benson sees pitches really well. I feel like the pitch that he sees best, perhaps better than anyone, and I'm including Votto, who has a great feel of the strike zone. That breaking ball down, his takes are amazing on those pitches.
I agree with that.
Two 2-0 on Naylor, who's had a strong day. 2-run homer, a single, and a line drive out. Derek Law is once again up in the Reds' pen. Law loosened briefly, then Stout took the reins. It looks like Law likely on for the ninth. Hard foul. Chip to right. Yastrzemski shooting in, won't get there. 3-hit day for Luke Maile.
Right off the end of the bat. Really good pitch by Llovera. Serve it to right field.
Ellie De La Cruz, a walk, a single. He has reached on fielder's choice and struck out. To short. 8 complete. 5-0 Reds. Reds baseball on Bally Sports Ohio is brought to you by Jake Sweeney Chevrolet, serving the tri-state for over 100 years. Andrew Abbott, outstanding today. The MLB Ballpark app completes your next visit to Great American Ballpark. Buy and manage game tickets, redeem offers, access exclusive content, and much more. Download the MLB Ballpark app today. Reds are home through the weekend against Arizona, looking for the final 3 outs, up 5 in the 9th. Derek Law.
Saw Derek Law in the Tuesday night ball game and didn't go so well. Definitely out there with thoughts of preserving the shutout. Get a job done right here, buddy.
Elevates to Wisely, who has walked and struck out. And that's where I like the use of Law here. He's got cushion because he hasn't looked the same since coming back from injury. But there is something you're trying to preserve. There's a one-hit shutout in progress, so there's leeway if it doesn't go well, but there's also an impetus to be as efficient as possible.
Right.
just away. Full count. Struck him out.
Challenge fastball in the outer half. Nice pitch.
Top of the order, Slater. To right. Fraley curls corner, makes the play. Still base side. Last man standing is Wilmer Flores, who at the series start was just about unpitchable. He's been quieter of late. Reds seek the split on the 4-game set. Pinpoint strike. To left center with carry. And that's gone. Caught on the fly by a fan barehanded. That was a pretty casual snare. Flores stays on. So the shutout spoiled with 2 outs in the 9th. It's only the 4th Giant to reach base.
Yeah, and that's where Derek Law has lived ever since he's come back. He has not quite found that pinpoint control that we saw earlier in the season. It was a great catch in the outfield.
Forward 1 on Yastrzemski. Strikeout, couple of flyouts. Chase 0-2. Dropped by Maley. Struck him out. Ball game Reds behind a dominant day of Andrew Abbott, who offered the best start by a Red all year. They split the set. Back-to-back wins for the Reds for the first time in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, Andrew Abbott just followed suit. Graham Ashcraft pitched a great game yesterday to get this team on the snide. And then Andrew Abbott today was just fantastic with all of his pitches, John. His poise on the mound, his presence is just so impressive. And then the bottom third of the lineup again, Luke Maley. For me, this kid just continually just makes so many contributions with his inconsistent play. He was good. Will Benson continuing to swing the bat well. Christian Encarnacion Strand, welcome to Cincinnati. This is a really good ball club. We went through a little down spell, but they're playing some good baseball, and it looks like we're back where we need to be.
Reds offense rejuvenated, more to come. They boat raced the Giants and split the set 5-1 in the finale.